As the ashes of Troy cooled, the world moved on. Civilizations rose and fell. The Mycenaean palaces crumbled. The Hittite Empire vanished. The names of kings, the dates of battles, they were forgotten. But the story of Troy endured. In a world without hard drives or archives, myth was memory. And Homer was more than a poet. He was a vessel, carrying echoes of truth across generations. The Iliad was not a historical record. It was oral tradition, passed down for centuries before ever being written. But within its verses, we find something remarkable: clues, patterns, shadows of real people and real places. Homer wrote of bronze weapons, boar-tusk helmets, and funeral pyres, details that for centuries seemed like fantasy until archaeologists unearthed those very things from Bronze Age tombs. The lines between legend and lived reality began to blur. Was there truly a Hector? A Paris? An Achilles? Maybe not exactly. But there were warriors. There were sieges. There was a burning city. And while the gods may not have walked the battlefield, the chaos, the alliances, the betrayals, those were all too real. Myth didn't invent the war. It remembered it. In every culture, myths serve a purpose. They encode values, traumas, victories, and warnings. For the Greeks, the Trojan War was not just a tale of heroes. It was a reflection of who they were and who they feared becoming. It was about honor, rage, pride, and the terrible cost of both. The fall of Troy wasn't just a moment in history. It became a mirror held up to the ages. That's the power of myth. It bends the details, but not the truth. It forgets the date, but never the lesson. And thousands of years later, the fire of Troy still burns, not just in ruins, but in memory. Because in the end, Troy was more than a city. It was a story, and some stories never die.